Greetings, hunters! Duuz-Diz-Din back again with more Hunter x Hunter. Previously, the Phantom Troop is on the hunt for the Li, a mafia organization ran by the bastard child of the Kakian Emperor, Mirana. And thanks to the secession war that has imbued each person of the bloodline with Nen abilities, Mirana's own ability allows those who kill a certain number of people to increase their own Nen ability. Thus, the Li have been on a killing spree, much to the dismay of the two other mafia families that want to keep the peace. But the Li have run afoul of the Phantom Troop, who wish to expunge them, as it were. Specifically, we have Nobunaga, Phaeton, and Finks hunting them down. But whereas Phaeton and Finks see the policy of destruction that the Li seem to tote as something they can't get behind, Nobunaga recalls a different time for the Phantom Troop, when they lived in Meteor City, and they were just starting out, and the destruction they sought to wreak across the planet. Smash cut to them in Meteor City just kind of being little shit. But Meteor City is no place for good kids, as those who reside there are seen as less than human, and kidnappings and deaths happen all the time for the residents. And with Crollo, Pakunoda, and a couple of the other kids wanting to make something special for some of the others, the question becomes, how will it all go terribly wrong? Join me as I find out, won't you? Yeah, so Crollo stumbled upon a videotape that had essentially a ripoff of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but it's in, a different language. So Crollo gathered up Pakunoda, Sharesa, and Sheila to kind of dub it over and present it to some of the other kids. A little light in the darkness for some of them. Alright, so you have Hunter x Hunter Chapter 396, Founding Part 2, which is, I guess, Founding of the Phantom Troop. It's wild that almost 400 chapters in and we're only just now getting this. An announcement comes from the church saying, "We're going to have a special screening for our regular assembly. Please join us, everyone." And you see kids flooding into the church with Father Lasoro handing out snacks to the kids saying, "Welcome, have a snack." Oh, Crollo is also handing them out as he says, "Have as many as you want." Only for Uvagin to come up behind Crollo and put a sinister hand on his shoulder, obviously mad about being duped out of a primo videotape. I really am wondering how we get to the point where Uvagin and the others bend the knee to Crollo. Although Crollo here gives off like major shonen protagonist vibe, he really makes me think of Gon. Uvagin says, "Hey Crollo, I hear you're making good use of my video. I'm really pumped up today for after the showing." Finks and Phaeton roll up too. I can't get over Finks' douchey little haircut. As Finks says, and not to mention Phaeton's weird-ass fuzz. Finks says, Hey, yo, Crow, if you still have the energy after Uvo's done with you, we should play soccer. I'm guessing he means soccer with Crollo's head. But then Teresa holds up some snacks to Finks, and Finks says, "What, is that for me?" Teresa says, "Help us hand out the snack." Finks says, "Huh? Why me?" Finks hasn't really changed that much. He's a weird bit of a softie in a certain extent. As Father Losoro looks over in their direction, Finks begrudgingly starts to hand out the snack, saying, "Hey, if you haven't gotten a snack yet, take one." And the kids go running over to him. Teresa says to Crollo, "Finks is kind at heart, so it'll be fine. I'll take care of Uvo too." Wow. See, I'm still under the impression something has to happen to like Ceresa that gets them all together. Apparently Sheila was the hunter who Kurapika and his friend met when they were younger, when they were venturing out of the village to do that errand. And that's how Kurapika learned about hunters, and she's also the one who stumbled upon the village and the destruction, which is such a wild irony that the Phantom Troop steamrolled over the Kurta clan, and it was a friend of theirs who had essentially kind of inspired the Phantom Troop's worst enemy, and also helped them out to a certain degree, stumbled upon what the troop had done. I don't know, is it really the same person? Couldn't it just be someone with a different name? Apparently there's a similarity in design too, with how Sheila seems to wear a lot of, anime lover, a girl who loves anime and stuff, with the ears and the weird ass dress and how her clothing and her bag looks. It's weird though. Regardless, we see Sheila also handing out snacks as she says to Chrollo, "You're everyone's little brother. Well, the littlest still has to protect you." She's commenting on the fact that Charisse is so little, but she's still looking out for Chrollo. But she knows that, I guess, Uvo and Finks are sweet on her. And I guess that's Pakunoda, because Pakunoda had this weird kind of very short hairstyle when she was younger. I mean, she's young, so. Pakunoda says that's how it should be, Chrollo. Oh yeah, that's definitely her. You see a clear shot of her face as she says, "I know you bring flowers to the church every day for the grave. I like you just the way you are." Aw, Chrollo says thanks. I didn't know. See, I guess Pakunoda had a bit of a crush on Chrollo, but it doesn't seem like the troupe ever pursued relations within the troupe, so maybe they mostly just see each other as just family? You see all the kids inside of the theater ready for a screening. I think it looks like an elementary school moment as someone announces, "The screening is about to begin. Please take your seat." And you see all the kids in front of this massive projector. The projector goes on, and you see the crew of the power cleaners. And all the kids are shocked, saying, "Hey, huh? Is that?" And I guess the lead says, "Mighty sweeping power cleaners, let's get sweeping." The kids cry out, "Oh wow, it's the power cleaners, that's awesome!" The characters on screen say, "They call it Tokyo Land even though it's in Chiba. The lines are long, but maybe we should take a day and all go." And the kids say, "Wait, are they speaking our language? Is it being broadcast here? No way. Someone else is talking." And you see Uvogin and Machi stunned, as well as Finks and Phaeton. Shalnark asks Franklin, "Aren't those Chrollo and Paku's voices?" Franklin says, "I was wondering what they've been sneaking around for. This must have been why." And the characters on the screen says, "Will you stop making moves on guys I have my eye on? You did a 180 when you found out his income. I'm trying to be the shy one." Jeez. And the kids are just laughing at this. Chrollo says as they watch from the side of the curtain, the stage. He says, "Oh good, they're all laughing." Paku says, "Dubbing it was a great idea." Chrollo tells her, "You guys practiced so much to get the timing right." Paku says, "You were more amazing, Chrollo." Aww. Patting each other on the back. He says, "You use different voices for all the guys. I bet nobody's noticed." I guess something happens to the recording. As the kids say, "Huh? There's no sound." During one of the action scenes, the rest of the kids are a bit stunned. The lights come on and the kids say, "The video stopped." Aww. Chrollo goes over to Father Lasaurus and questions, "Father Lasaurus, what's wrong?" The father says, "The audio tape got stuck in the machine. It's tangled up real bad. We might have to use scissors. This might take a lot of time." Meanwhile, the kids in the audience say, "Is it broken? What do you expect? Everything here is broken. They were thrown away as trash." Is that? I think you see a young Nobunaga, because it just looks like regular Nobunaga with his hair down and no facial hair. Chrollo asks Father Lasaurus, "Can I please have the mic?" While Uvogin from the very back shouts out, "Hey, where's the rest of it, Chrollo? Or is this it? Hey, Chrollo!" The kids are all covering their ears in front of him, and Machi tells him to shut up as she kicks his side. Chrollo comes out on stage with the mic saying, "Sorry, I thought it was a break time, so I was getting a bit to eat, derp." Wait, what? "Then I got an upset stomach and had to go to the bathroom, derp." He's trying to be funny. "Well, we couldn't show any of that. Sorry, derp. Now, where were we again? Hey, Blue Cleaner. Blue, where are you?" And the kids in the audience says, "That's the Yellow Cleaner's voice. Wow, a kid the same age as us was doing the voice?" Okay, so he's just doing basically kind of like a live performance he gets some voice actors to do. Those can be pretty fun too. So I guess he was doing the voice of like the big, well, for lack of a better term, the fat funny guy. And then he does the voice of the mysterious Blue Cleaner saying, "I wish you'd send some of those nutrients to your memory storage. We're about to go rescue Pink, who was captured in the Vandal monster's trap, remember?" Even Uvogin is taken off guard by all of this. As the kids in the audience are all shocked, they say, "Huh? What? He's Blue's voice too? No way. And Red and Green and the monsters? Chrollo holds up his hands and the crowd goes, huh. He holds up 3 fingers as he pretends, I guess, to be the red power clear, saying, we're gonna resume our mission on the count of 3. Are you guys ready? And the kids in the audience are eating it up. They all roar out with excitement, counting down. 3, 2, 1. And the video continues as all the kids come on stage and they just act out everything. I guess it's kind of like an audio drama at this point. You see the red power cleaner running off saying, that's their hideout. Let's go, Green. The green power cleaner says, Red, hold on. We have to wait for Blue and Yellow. And he's not listening. I don't know who Sheila and Sharesa are voicing, but Sheila acts out saying she got tricked by a hottie and got caught. Her dirty mind is a disgrace to the power cleaners. Sharesa's character says, oh yeah, didn't see you flirting. Didn't I see you flirting with said hottie too? The girls are only there for lovey-dovey drama. That's hilarious. But we see all the power cleaners assembled, with Red shouting out to, I guess, a monster on a cliff overlooking the rest of them, saying, there you are, evil vandal monster Graffino. Get your filthy hands off of the pink cleaner. It looks just like a Power Rangers monster, or I guess a Super Sentai monster, as Chrollo acts out the monster's voice too, going, yeah, you're doomed now, my pathetic power cleaners. And the kids are just eating it up. It's like a cold chill runs down them, just hearing Chrollo act out this voice. Like, it hits all of them. Uvo getting really hard, Franklin, Shalnark, Finks, Phaeton, even Machi is mesmerized, and Nobunaga's he's just impressed, being like, oh. As the monster Graffino says, the death metal monster's mascara. Put the pink cleaner under our spell, and you will suffer the same fate. All of humanity, all of civilization will be covered in grime. All hail Disgust King. And the kids in the audience are like scared, and it's like, oh no, I'm scared, and they cry out. But I guess Chrollo, playing out the red power cleaner, says, even if you cover up her face with mascara, you'll never be able to put a permanent stain on Pink's heart. She's always in pursuit of true love. And the kids eat it up. He continues saying, the power you get from believing in others, that's the ultimate cleaning agent. Oh my goodness. And then Chrollo speaks as Blue, saying, Red, your smooth speech cleansed Pink's caked on mascara. The pink cleaner is back. You see the pink power cleaner transform back to normal as she goes running back to the rest of her crew. As the monster Graffino cries out, damn you, I'll filth you up myself. Get 'em, my sludges. Chrollo, I guess as Red, says, go ahead, begrime as much as you want. Pakunoda as Pink says, we'll wipe it away every time. Chrollo, I'm guessing as Blue says, getting dirt is a fact of life. The tragedy is giving up and living in filth. Sheila's character says, if it's too much for one person, we can all pitch in. Chrollo, as the derpy yellow one, says, eating by yourself can sate your hunger, but coming together to enjoy a meal is the best. Isn't that what it's all about, derp? And someone cries out, no, from the audience as they laugh. Sharesa's character says, if we work together, we can clean anything. And I'm guessing Chrollo as Green says, even the hard to reach places. And all the characters join their fingers together saying, by our cleansing powers combined, clean sweep. And they all come out and just start, I guess with cleaning instruments, just defeat all the bad guys. It's even a Captain Planet parody, and you just hear clapping echoing from the church, and all the kids are laughing and cheering and acting out all the parts. And after the production, Father Losaurus shakes Chrollo's hand and gives him a pat on the head. All the kids head out afterwards. I did not know Nobunaga was a part of this group at this point, because he's walking with all of them as if he's always been their friend, so I guess that was a point at some point. He just wasn't around for the past chapter. Man, the height difference between Chrollo and everyone else. Like, Chrollo is tiny in comparison to even Shalnark. But Shalnark says as they walk home, everyone loved it. You were amazing. Franklin says, you might have brought about a watershed moment for Meteor City. Yeah, you see Takunoda, Sharesa, Shalnark, Chrollo, Nobunaga, Franklin, and Sheila walking home. Cruella says, I couldn't have done it without these three. But then standing a little bit further down the road is Machi, Uva again, Finks, and Phaeton, just blocking the path. Franklin tells Cruella, you don't have to do this. But Cruella walks forward towards the four of them saying, it's okay, I need to. I did take the video without asking. But Sharesa just walks on past Cruella right up to Uva again. But then she turns around facing Cruella and says in a really loud voice, Cruella, you really are amazing. I have a better opinion of you now. Taking both Uvagin and Cruella off guard. Sharesa then turns around and points at Uvagin saying, I dubbed you. And while Uvagin is embarrassed and Cruella's taken off guard, all the rest of the kids give a very gentle smile to each other. Uvagin then approaches Cruella and says, Cruella? Cruella questions, yes. Uvagin says, that video has more episodes on it, right? Cruella says, yeah. It only had 8 episodes, though. Uvagin asks, let me do it. The voice of the next monster. Aw. Nobunaga says, I'll be green. Oh, Phaeton actually speaking says, I'll be yellow. Fink says, I'm blue. Shaonak says, I'm the genius scientist in the love triangle with purple and pink. Franklin says, I can be the disgust king. Machi? Machi says, I'm not doing this. That's very on brand for Machi. And Uvagin reaches out his hand saying, Cruella, more than any other punch I've ever taken, what you did today rocked me the most. Wow, this is what got Uvagin's respect for Cruella. Something so simple. It wasn't a display of might or a display of power. It was just a display of character. That's actually shockingly wholesome for a backstory for the Phantom Troop. And Cruella and Uvagin shake hands. We see them on stage the next time, playing out their parts in front of the audience. Seems like Cruella and Uvagin grew closer as time passed. I guess we see them writing up scripts, making toys to play with, and just hanging out in general. Then you hear Machi say no. Uvagin questions in, I guess, their new hideout, saying, why not? Everyone wants to be the princess. Machi says, you do it then. If I have to, I want to be a bad guy. Franklin says, bad guy? Guess the next one will be the disgust queen. Pakunoda says, but the queen is actually Purple's twin sister, so it should be a dual role for Sheila. Fink says, Orange doesn't have many lines in this one, so Sharesa could do it. Okay, so the 3 girls are Pink, Purple, and Orange. Okay. Why am I memorizing this? I don't think this is even going to matter past a certain point. Cruella says, no, they have a big scene together 2 episodes later. Shelnark says, we don't have enough people. Should we recruit members? Franklin says, sounds good. What kind of group are we anyway? Uvogin says, a theater group of 4. Is that why they're called the Phantom Troop? Like a theater troupe? Is that why they call this the Phantom Troop? Is that what the name comes from? They originally oh wow, that is a wild origin. Oh my god. What a wild beginning. Nobunaga says, it feels more like a touring company to me. Pakunoda says, how about a troupe then? Oh wow. This is not how I expected things to go. Cruella says, but we don't have the means to get anywhere. Uvagin says, don't sweat the details. We can start by walking. One of the kids says, a troop it is for now. Then another kid says, we can't just be a troop. One says, we need something like the something troop hereby presents a performance. Another kid says, we're recruiting for the something troop. Another kid says, now I'm suddenly motivated. So they were already settling on calling themselves the something troop. How did they center on Phantom? Fink says, it would be great to find the rest of the episodes. Uvagin says, I'm trying, but looking for something specific is like looking for a needle in a haystack. We don't even know if the rest are out there. Nobunaga says, then Cruella should just write a script and make it into a regular play. Everyone's watching us more than the screen these days. Oh, they put on live performances. Sheila says, sure, some people are watching Cruella. What do you think, Cruella? Cruella says, I still think the show works best as a screening. Without the visuals, we need a fight choreography and monster costume. We don't have the time or the resources. Well, there are 3 more episodes as a buffer, so I'll think about it. Uvagin says, after today's full rehearsal, How about we make a guessing game of where the show is going to go? Sharaysa says, "Uvo, you're so into it now." Uvo again says, "At first, well, I just wanted to be able to have something, anything. But being able to clearly define what that is and what I want to do is an amazing feeling. Yeah, it's a sense of purpose, you know." Krollo asks, "What is it that you want to do?" Uvagan says, "Tour around the world with you in a play and be the best villain in the world." Huh, villain. The irony of all this. Here it is. I was wondering when it was gonna happen. 'Cause if Sheila is the one who inspired Karapika, that means Cereza, something happens to her. 'Cause we hear Krollo call out, "Huh? Where's Cereza?" Finks, who's play sort of fighting with Phaeton, says, "She left. She's got sorting duty today." Krollo says, "What? By herself?" Shalnark says, "Her hamlet is close by. She'll be fine. Orange only has to answer the phone and say her catchphrase, so she's not needed at rehearsal. She'll be busier for the next rehearsal, so she swapped shifts." And we see Sharaysa walking off saying, "They'll be so surprised if I end up finding the tape. There was a pile of them among the corporate dump by Uga Forest that nobody knows about. I've memorized what power cleaners looks like in Gelman standards, so I just need to find the title." Meanwhile, we see the van that's been just taking people from Meteor City, as the people inside says they're getting more vigilant here. Yeah, we've made a quota for delivery. The era of hunting here may be coming to a close. If we find one last one, we'll make sure to have some fun. Oh boy, yeah. See, that's the only reason you'd have 2 full chapters of something so sweet and wholesome. So, just very beautiful. But to see how they turn out, it would have to have been something that just pushed them all over the edge. Like, these are kids who were very much starting to find their center, find their focus, find some sense of kindness, and there had to be something that rips that away. And it would only take the death of someone who actually managed to bring them all together to push them in that direction. It's so simple, but it makes a lot of sense. Sometimes I forget how much the fandom troop has been humanized, especially in terms of when we were first introduced to them. Because sometimes I get it mixed up with the kind of the monsters that Gon, Kahlua, Karapika, so on and so forth kind of saw them as, but at the same time, even with Karapika, he didn't expect them to care for each other as much. Hell, that's what pissed Gon off the most, that they could be so human and yet take lives so easily. I am curious how they ended up becoming what they became. Because it feels like it should be simple. They just got pissed off and just started taking lives and they became what they became. But maybe it's a lot more complicated than I think it is. I don't know. For all the members that they've lost, especially the ones they've been with the longest, specifically Takunoda and Shalnark, I don't know. Like Cortopi, I guess they didn't know for the longest time. For a second, I actually thought maybe Sharaysa was Cortopi to a certain degree, but I wasn't quite sure, because Cortopi has the long hair and all that. But I'm pretty sure Cortopi is a guy, but, I mean, gender can be... it could be a lot of things, you know? So just because Cortopi now presents as male doesn't mean that in the past couldn't have been presented as female. I don't know. But the death of Sharaysa would make a lot of sense. Anyway, tragedy is on the horizon. But I'm interested to hear from you. Do you think this was good setup, or do you feel that it took too much time away from the actual story? I actually really enjoyed all of this. 2 chapters, it's a very simple origin, and it subverts a lot of ways that you might have thought that things would have gone down. But I'm interested to hear from you. But also remember to like, subscribe, bell, all that good YouTube stuff. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.